A Bittersweet Life is a 2005 released South Korean crime gangster film directed by Kim Jee-woon.
It's the story of Sun-woo, who is an enforcer slash hotel manager for a crime boss by the name of Kang. Mr. Kang is going away on business to Shanghai, yeah. And he asks Sun-woo to keep an eye on his mistress, who's called Hee-soo. Unsurprisingly, as a mob boss, he's got a much younger mistress. Yeah, and he's suspicious of her, thinks she might be cheating on him with a younger guy. So he says, keep an eye on her, see who she hangs out with, where she goes, what she does. And if you find out that she is, if you want to deal with it. Deal with it. As in, kill him. So yeah, Sun-woo is a loyal employee, I guess. He goes to her house, maybe slightly predictably is quite attracted to her, but then he proceeds to follow her, and she does get picked up by a guy, and they go out, they go to eat, and they go to a club and do various other things. And then at first it seems like they're maybe just friends because he drops her off and she goes home and that's it, but he then does discover that they are having a relationship. He's all ready to tell his boss about it and do the deed when he suddenly decides, actually, she's too good looking to kill, so I'll let them go. He makes them promise that they'll never see each other again.
He has at this point already kicked 7 shades of
he's a capable guy. Yeah, the film opens with him and one of his associates kicking the crap out of 3 hoods who are getting up to no good at the bar in the hotel. So there's kind of 2 threads going on. You've got him keeping an eye on the mistress of his boss, and he's also got these guys that he beat the crap out of at the start of the film. The gang that they're part of aren't very happy about it, and then it turns into a bit of a sort of a revenge flick. And it's kind of billed as an action film, and there is action in there, but it doesn't, it's more towards the end. So yeah, Sun-woo's played by Lee Byung-hun. He's quite famous outside of Korea as well. Actually, he's been in a few US films. He's been in the G.I. Joe movies. He was in Red 2. His work is basically his life. You see him at home. He sleeps on the sofa. He doesn't really have much in his place. He doesn't do anything apart from go to work. Doesn't really smile at all. Bit of a lonely guy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, actually. I'd not seen it before. It's very slick. It feels like what it is. Lots of bad men doing bad things to each other.
In black suits.
Essentially in black suits, which is a little bit like Pulp Fiction, because in Pulp Fiction, John Travolta he doesn't have to spy on Mia Wallace, but obviously he has to kind of look after her for a few days. There's a little bit of that going on. Then you go on to the kind of the revenge side of it, which is a lot of stuff that you've probably seen elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's done very well here.
The plot is not massively original, but I think the way it's executed and the actors and the characters are elevated above the sort of the standard sort of gangster rip-off.
Why is he seeking revenge? He's a gangster. You can kind of work this stuff out. And there's like a moment where he's like really shocked. So why are you doing this to me? And you're like, well, that's the life you live, you crazy man. You do this to other people. Surely you should expect that. But I tell you what I really liked about it. I quite like, following him. Obviously, yes, he's the man who, he's very isolated, he's very lonely, he lives by himself, he has no relationships. He's kind of infatuated by this woman. So, of course, he's maybe infatuated by the idea of a relationship, but he's had relationships and they've gone wrong because of the lifestyle he leads. There's 101 other films that do this, both badly and good as well. But what I did quite like about it was some of it felt quite realistic. It was quite bloody at times. And there was a moment where, something's going to happen to him, shall we say. And he throws up. Which I thought, I was like, oh wow, they never do that in things like that. And all these actors in America, they just seem to take this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to get the hell beaten out of us, but we're just going to take it. But in reality, if that was going to happen to you, if someone came at you with a knife or some toe cutters or a blowtorch, you'd probably either faint in shock or you'd throw up.
Yeah.
It was a very unsettling moment to think what they're about to do to you. And they do that in this film. And there's another moment later on which has something similar and which to me felt very realistic, which I liked about this film. Because obviously violence, a lot of people love violent action films, but there are consequences to violence. And I liked that this film kind of showed those consequences.
There's a bit of comedy in there as well. There's a great scene with some like gun dealers that he goes through. And there's some good comedy in that scene. It's got everything in there. Violence, and
touching moments as well. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it actually.
Yeah.
Do we have it? Do you have it?
I've got it on DVD. There's no Blu-ray in the UK. Obviously in Korea there is, but not really English friendly if you can't speak Korean. And I think Germany have got a Blu-ray as well, but again it's only got German subtitles, so you're a bit stuck if you don't speak Korean or German.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, lots of DVDs all over the place. There is a director's cut as well, which this isn't, but I think it's in length it's 30 seconds longer, but it is recut. So I think there's stuff that's been removed and additional scenes put in, and I think there's different the music's been changed in some ways, and so it's actually quite different. Even though it's almost the same length, it's actually different, a sort of different edit of the film almost, with slightly different scenes and things like that in it. So, but no, I mean that's only released in some countries, so you need to sort of seek that out if you wanted to see that version. But it'd be nice if there was a nice edition with both cuts on it somewhere. But at the moment,
well, you wonder if obviously Parasite winning the Oscar, some kind of resurgence of Korean cinema, or maybe we'll see some people like Arrow, or I mean, we said last week that Criterion might be putting out Memories of Murder. So maybe we'll see some people putting out some Korean cinema as people start to wake up and realise there's some really good films from Korea. Oh, but we have we talk about Japanese cinema. I mean, there's huge and numbers of Japanese films that have made it over to the West that have been picked up by the distribution companies in the West and put out, and maybe they could start doing that with Korean cinema as well, and maybe Parasite will open people. I mean, there's a huge amount of people out there that watch channels like ours and other channels that do similar films that will know a lot of these films, and it's not really anything new to you. But obviously, if you don't know it and you've come to this and you're new, then do go and check out some Korean cinema, because it's very interesting stuff.
And a lot of people seem to be put off by subtitles, but I don't know. It's it's strange.
Don't be put off by subtitles, because and as I said last week, I sometimes watch these films without subtitles because they're so visually, they're visually enticing and interesting as well.
Once you've seen it and you know the story, turn those subtitles off and you just enjoy the visuals. Because when as we said, when you're reading the subtitles, obviously you are looking down and you are missing.
And if you don't watch films because they've got subtitles, you're missing out on so much great cinema. Because the West, and when I say the West, I probably will include the Brits and the Americans. That you've got so many films from all these wonderful countries that have incredible films, and they're so different as you move around the world. Cinema changes. They have their own. Obviously, they've got their own histories and they've got their own cultures and they've got their own politics. And cinema reflects that, and it changes. So don't let subtitles put you off, because if you are, well, stay in your little box, and that's all I'm saying about that one. So that was A Bittersweet Life, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, let us know in the comments below.
Click that subscribe button up there, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. There's some other videos to check out over there. Come and find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and join us next week for another video.